I want to echo the congratulations to my honourable friend on bringing this forward and recognise her work on this issue over many years, and also, as we said, that of our colleague Bob Doris in the Scottish Parliament. And of course the reason for that work is often because of the experience of our constituents, and again I extend condolences to the family and friends of David Gowan, particularly his brother Alan. And such experiences and such tragic accidents are, of course, the worst manifestation of what can happen, but not the only outcome of improper use of off-road vehicles. There are many near misses or non-fatal but life-changing injuries and accidents, sometimes injuries or fatalities involving animals, and of course today's business began with questions about the treatment and welfare of pets, and of course noise and air pollution. So I think her bill proposes some pretty straightforward and useful reforms which would promote much more responsible use and provide the police with some additional powers which would allow them to crack down on irresponsible use. The burden doesn't have to be on, it shouldn't be high, and it won't be high, she says, on people who already use these vehicles responsibly and for legitimate purposes, and certainly they should have nothing to fear from the registration system, and as she says, perhaps there can be legitimate exemptions in certain circumstances. It would also provide a deterrent effect to those who do not necessarily understand in the first place the responsibility that comes with owning and operating such a vehicle, especially if they're younger. But importantly, it would also considerably strengthen, I think, the police's hand. It would make it easier to seize unregistered vehicles as a first offence, as the exchange of interventions has just elaborated on, and it would be easier to track vehicles which are being used improperly. And I know that the lack of powers speaking to police in the north of Glasgow, the lack of powers in this area is a source of frustration for them. We are coming up against some of the clashes between devolved and reserved responsibilities, and the police in Glasgow do try to use the antisocial powers and others that they have in legislation governed by Holyrood, but they would prefer, we know, to see some further progress being made down here.